Harley Quinn. This video is going to be a little shorter than expected because Harley Quinn is a character. She doesn't have too much tech or depth. She's pretty straightforward and simple. All she really does is hit you really hard meterlessly and build bar. Harley Quinn kind of had short range, or people said that she had T-Rex arms. Other characters as well suffered from that. But she did have some decent normals or strings. Like back 2 was her best normal for sure for footsies. She has some good strings that are plus on block, like 3-3 is plus 8 on block. 4-2-3 is plus 12 on block. And 4-2 gunshot can also be jailed, which I'll show later in the video. Her back 3 and forward 3 are some of the worst in the game though. They're only plus 1 on block, both of them. And it's really hard to link back 3, forward 3. And decently hard to link back 3, back 3. It's easy to mess up in some scenarios. Her meter burn forward 3 is pretty useful though if you make a read on like interactable punishes or slow projectile punishes. Harley Quinn's movement backwards was pretty good, but her forward movement was really short. So it took her a while to get in and she kind of struggled to get in. Her anti-air game isn't that great. She gets out-prioritized by jump-ins pretty easily. She has one of the best air-to-air jump 2s though, and air-to-airs in general. It's 6 frame startup and she could actually compete with some jump-ins that normally people couldn't compete with air-to-air wise. And she has some of the shortest throw reach in the game. I have the AI set to randomly blocking because her back 2, if you do back 2-2 on block, only back 2 comes out, but on hit, back 2-2 comes out. So it's like a OS, and back 2 by itself is neutral on block, so that's actually pretty good frame data wise too. This is why back 2 is such a key normal in her game plan for when she played offense. As I said before, Harley hits hard meterlessly. She averages 30% each touch she gets off cartwheel, which is -7 on block. 4-2 gunshot jails, which gives you a +3 for free. 1-1-2, assuming it jails, is +21 on block, and for the characters that it jails again, it's actually pretty hard to deal with. The only way you can escape this is if you down 2 immediately, assuming your down 2 worked, unlike Batman's down 2. You had to forward dash, which is a huge commitment on the opponent and can easily be blown up. Her forward 1-3 guaranteed a throw on hit. As you can see, I'm trying to jump and backdash and I can't get out. Her forward 1-3 also allowed for a down back forward 1 high command grab. Forward 1 by itself is pretty good. It's a high, but it's +2 on block. Forward 1-3 was an overhead, and you could try to mix up with forward 1 tantrum stance, but the overhead was reactable, so it's easy to fuzzy. This is one of her traits. It's a TNT bomb. It's kind of gimmicky honestly, and you can't choose which trait you want. This one is a health regeneration. She regenerates 10 health, and it doesn't go away on hit. This combo right here is just regular damage she gets, because her last trait that she gets is a damage buff, and her damage buff lasts for 7 seconds. And there's visuals that you can see, like there's hearts for this power up that you can see visually to know how long it's active for. She can cancel her silly slide into tantrum stance, but her options off of tantrum stance are pretty bad outside cartwheel, so you really just wanted to do cartwheel, or if you could maybe try to get away with one of the rolls, you could try that. Her pistol shot was one of her main sources of meter build. It's a high though, so you could just duck it on reaction, especially if you were patient and not dashing in crazy. She could cancel pistol shots into pistol shots, like up shot and a straight shot and a straight shot. She also had an aerial shot, which is pretty good for people that were ducking. You had to be quick to react to her aerial shot, especially if she was instant airing it. She had this down back 2, which is a mid projectile. By itself it's +1, but obviously it depends on the distance, the frame data changes. And it had 4 different properties. The meter burn, all it is, it just recovers way faster. And if I actually forgot about this, I got this on accident. That could happen too, but it's very rare. Her cupcake is plus 12 on block. It's pretty good for people that aren't dashing in and that are respecting your pistol shots. And her meter burn cupcake is plus 29 on block and jails into a straight shot if they block all 3 cupcakes. But the thing is, you could dodge it full screen if they're walking back. Especially if they don't need to come in, they can just walk back and keep ducking. But at least you'll build bar for that if they decide to do that. Her corner carry is pretty good, and when she does corner you, she gets pretty good damage. And this is, again, all meterless. Unless you decide to use the bar for the guaranteed damage off of the command grab, which also adds 9% guaranteed. And it can kill the first health bar. She could do silly slide setups that can lead to cross-up jump-in setups or non-cross-up setups. And this also messes with your wake-up attacks. That's pretty much it for Harley, honestly. Like, there's not much else. Her interactable bounce usage is really limited because she couldn't back 3 or forward 3 off of them. So you could do just something like stand 3 afterwards, which is pretty easy. Harley Quinn was also a gadget character, so she used bombs, and she could get straight shot off of some of the bombs. She had a pretty decent super. It launched on hit, as you can see in a moment. And the hammer travels full screen too, assuming that you're not right next to the opponent. It's 2 hits. The first hit hits you, but if it's like full screen distance, she'll throw the hammer. This is what she gets in the corner. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, sorry it's short, but here's some gameplay footage of tournament level Harley play.
3 into arrow? I did not know that. Dumpster time? Nice.
Right
into the Harley
that was
3 not being fixed.
That was a blow up.
That was
yesterday.
a blow up, but it's good today. Saltface takes the first one. However, that was an extremely close match. 16-bit looked comfortable, and Harley is a character that you can feel uncomfortable fighting against because her zoning can make it so you can't move. Oh, the down 1 exchange goes,
and we know Saltface
gimmicks
is famous for his zoning.
Terry McGimmicks.
Shout outs. Does
Big
the cartwheel.
block. Oh, you could punish that.
Yeah, the cartwheel is punishable.
Yes. Wow, Saltface looking dominant in that second match there. I'm sure 16-bit is...
Lighten up, will ya?